Brought to you by ExpressCare Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Healthy Living Tuesday, of course, and Dr. Jitka Lom, the lovely Dr. Jitka Lom. I should say, you should have on your business card, the lovely Jitka Lom, MD.
That is very sweet.
All right. Well, very, very well justified. And I guess apropos, because we were talking today about the heart, like how we segued into that.
Yep.
The heart, of course, a lot of people, when we're young, we think it's like this wonderfully shaped, organ and everything like that. Certainly it is not. A lot of people, are quite revolted when they see what it actually looks like and everything. But, before we get to tonight's questions, in your own study, like when you were going through med school about the heart, how fascinated were you to learn all the different things it does, and like how much time did you actually spend studying the heart?
Oh, well, cardiology is a pretty big portion of medical school because, of course, your heart is key as the pump that brings the blood to every part of your body.
Is it the body's engine?
Well, it's the body's pump. Yeah.
Okay.
And you need the oxygen that the heart pumps to every single cell of your body. So it's pretty critical, and it is very interesting. It's a very amazing organ. Yeah. I'm
sure that was fascinating to get into the science of it.
Yeah, and to look at it and to dissect it and look at all the parts of it. Amazing.
And without doubt, part of your education, a major part, I would assume, is to determine how people are heart healthy.
That's true.
And then what does that mean exactly to be? Obviously, you want your heart to be in good working order.
That's right. And so how do you know? Most of the time we don't think about our heart. We don't feel our heart beating. We just assume it's there doing its job. And we only feel it when there's something wrong. Like if you're having a palpitation, meaning an irregular heartbeat, or if you're having chest pain, meaning your heart's suffering. Your heart is, of course, is a big muscle. And if it's not getting enough oxygen, then it will shout for help. That's and you'll be having a heart attack. So the way we evaluate people's hearts is, of course, to ask them the questions. Are you able to climb a flight of stairs? Do you get short of breath? Are you able to do your regular physical activities? And do you ever notice any palpitations in your heart? So shortness of breath, chest pain, and palpitations are the three key things that we look for when we're listening to somebody. Then we'll listen to their heart and feel their pulse and check their blood pressure, and we'll see whether that is all in order. And we can hear heart sounds. The heart sounds are from the valves closing in the heart, opening and closing, and we can hear whether that's normal pattern or not. And then we can do some special testing, and I think that's mostly what our show's about today. See what kind of tests to do to evaluate your heart health.
Now, of course, when you ask people, can they climb a flight of stairs, or like maybe can they run a short distance, that's all a verbal check of how much stress the body can take, right?
Right.
And a way that you actually measure that, I guess, in a more formalized, controllable setting is, I understand that people can do things with like treadmills.
Right, so there's called an exercise stress test or a treadmill stress test, and that's when you're actually on a treadmill and you're walking, and they speed up the treadmill and they watch your heartbeat go on the monitor, and you see how quickly it is and whether you're skipping beats, and also whether there's any change in the pattern of the heartbeat on that electrical monitor that would show strain. So they keep making the treadmill go faster and faster, and then they put it on an incline and until you're really short of breath and you hit your limit, or you hit the highest level on the treadmill stress test, and then you know your heart is very healthy and also that you're fit. Because of course some people are very unfit and they cannot actually do the treadmill. It's not due to their heart, it's because they're not fit.
Like maybe people that are obese, or maybe people that are just like wildly out of shape.
Out of shape, yep.
Okay.
So that's the simplest way, is to observe how does the heart respond to stress and strain, which is exercise. And we watch that monitor. Now some people that they can't do that, they can't walk, maybe they have a disability or they're too obese, then we can artificially stimulate the heart with some chemical that we shoot into the blood vessel, into their vein. They'll get a medicine called thallium, and that strains the heart as if you were on the treadmill. And then you have basically, you're monitoring again on the EKG machine, the monitor, or you can also have an ultrasound done at the same time, an echocardiogram, and that will tell you what is the function of the heart when it's stressed. See, because everybody's heart's okay when we're sitting in a chair. When we have a demand placed on our heart, meaning when we have to walk or run or catch a ball or whatever, that's when our heart has to spring into action to get us to where we need to go. And that's when people tend to suffer, especially pushing a lawnmower, doing yard work, those type of activities where people will suffer chest pain.
Well, you're testing for a stress threshold, is that correct?
That is exactly right, yes.
And under which conditions, you know, that threshold,
Yeah.
how quickly you get to that threshold, or,
That's
you know.
right. So if we see on that threshold it's happening really easily, just take, you know, 10 steps a little bit quickly on the treadmill, and you're noticing that heart's being very strained, then you're like, wow, that heart is really under some serious pressure. What we need to do is look carefully at the blood supply to the heart. And then you would go on to what's called an angiogram, where they shoot some dye into the blood vessels that go into the heart, and we can see the blood supply to see, okay, there's a blockage. You've heard of that blockage thing. And then that would lead you on to either a stent placement, where they open the blood vessel so you can get better blood supply to the heart.
That's like a little umbrella that they put in there, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little clip thing that just opens up. Yeah. Or bypass surgery if that's not possible.
We see so many foods these days, and maybe since like the 90s, it's been very trendy for foods to be marked as heart healthy. You see this
Yes,
everywhere, from breakfast
everything.
cereal to juices of different varieties to, you know, snack bars and, you know, energy bars and everything like that. What about them makes them heart healthy?
Well, most of the time, honestly, not a lot. But the components.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
But what in your food, what is heart healthy are foods that have a lot of fiber. Why? Because the fiber does a few things. It reduces inflammation in your body, and it allows you to mop up the extra fats in your bloodstream, which are cholesterol and so on, to reduce that. And it may also reduce your blood pressure a bit. So that's how it kind of goes backwards to help your heart. But you know, what can you eat to keep your heart very healthy? Lots of fruits and vegetables, your omega-3, 6, 9, fish oil, those type of anti-inflammatory things, and exercising.
All right. Well, we